This is a sample 6th grade unit on volcanoes. This unit emphasizes technology, Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, and Webb's depth of knowledge throughout the entire unit. This unit also meets the next generation science standards, as well as the ISTE standards, which focus on creativity, communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and other uses for technology in the classroom. Have you ever wanted to travel to the center of the Earth? Well, instead of traveling downward, volcanoes make it possible for the elements of Earth's layers to rise to the surface. This helps geologists to study Earth's interior and our Earth's structure. Aside from that, volcanoes have helped shape Earth's landforms for millions of years and are a major force in continental drift, which causes our continents to move. As astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson would say, we are still at the mercy of nature, so it's important to understand how the world around us is created and what it's capable of. In this unit, students will become explorers, studying the forces that create volcanoes, the different characteristics of volcanoes, and the effects of volcanic activity. As students build their understanding throughout the unit, they will be activating different levels of depth of knowledge. In the first week of this unit, students will understand where volcanoes are located and why they are located there, building on their understanding of plate tectonics from a previous unit. This week, students will use digital resources like Padlet, Google Earth Gallery, Flickr, Talking Tom, and Paper 53. In class, students will use Google Slides to create a collaborative presentation based on the relationship between volcanoes and plate tectonics. What about students who have a naturalist intelligence and prefer to learn through their surroundings and the natural environment? Well, Google Earth shows not only satellite images but allows students to explore plate boundaries through touch navigation. This digital technology allows students to explore the world around them at the touch of a button. Many students will have musical intelligence and prefer to learn through song, rhythm, and sound. These students will also have an opportunity to learn about volcanoes as they connect to the content through songs that show volcanic activity, hotspots, and how lava is important in creating new land formations.
See the sky up above, will send me someone to love.
In week 2, students will learn about volcanic systems, types of eruptions, and volcanic activity. Although baking soda and vinegar might look cool, this type of eruption really isn't an accurate depiction of volcanic eruptions. Students will listen to audio recordings of eruptions and help distinguish quiet versus explosive eruptions. Students will also research selected websites in order to draw a volcanic diagram using Paper 53 app. Textbook reading will be supplemented by YouTube videos that explain volcanic systems, specifically the famous Mount Pinatubo eruption of 1991. These digital resources will help students better understand the dangers of volcanic eruptions.
This was the second biggest eruption of the 20th century.
In order to assess understanding, students will review concepts through Kahoot, a game that students can play using their mobile or iPad devices. Students that have kinesthetic intelligence and need to move around will be happy to participate in a QR code scavenger hunt. Students will use QR codes and a scanning app to answer questions about volcanic activity as they are guided around the class. Students with intrapersonal intelligence will be engaged by writing a reflective journal entry from the perspective of someone who lived near Mount Pinatubo during its eruption. This will synthesize key concepts of eruption and tie it to personal experience. In week 3, students explore landforms that are created due to volcanic activity. Students will use Maptini to brainstorm prior knowledge about land formations. They will then learn about landforms created by ash and lava, such as cinder cone volcanoes, composite volcanoes, shield volcanoes, and lava plateaus. Students will use BlendSpace to classify characteristics of different landforms using mixed media in their digital products. In order to further explore the effects of volcanoes, students will use the Encyclopedia Britannica app to research interesting volcanoes around the world. Students who are the artistic type or visual learners will appreciate learning about Ansel Adams' famous photograph of Half Dome, a type of dome mountain formed by magma. Students with verbal intelligence, who learn best through speaking, will use audio copy to record a description of the 4 types of magma landforms. There are different types of volcanoes created by magma: volcanic necks, batholiths, sills, dikes, hot springs, and geysers. In week 4, students will deepen their understanding by learning about a famous volcanic eruption, Mount Vesuvius. Since Pliny the Younger was the only person alive to create an eyewitness account of the event, students will become time-traveling scientists, imagining they are watching the Mount Vesuvius eruption in AD 79. Students will use Twitter to create a live Twitter feed, tweeting an eyewitness account of the eruption to help support Pliny the Younger's written account. This is a highly collaborative activity and supports intrapersonal learners in their understanding of volcanic eruptions. Students who need review of concepts will use Quizlet to review key terms, concepts, definitions, and vocabulary through the Quizlet live game. Students who are ready for enrichment will go on a virtual scavenger hunt using the TinyBop app, which requires critical thinking skills to find facts such as prehistoric evidence of volcanoes. Students with logical intelligence, who learn best through reasoning, will enjoy answering questions in a Kahoot quiz, allowing them to visually track data on the scoreboard. By the end of the unit, students will be experts about volcanoes. To show their understanding, they will be given academic choice for their final assessment. Options cover all intelligences and encourage all levels of depth of knowledge. Using guidelines and rubrics, students could create a video, comic strip, podcast, blog, music video, or explain everything presentation to show what they know. As an adult, it's easy to lose sight of what it's like to be a student. By understanding Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory and utilizing digital technology, teachers have a better chance of reaching all types of students and fostering a love of learning. Learning about multiple intelligence has expanded my mindset as an educator and strengthened the belief that each child is a genius if you allow them the space to show their strengths. Combining multiple intelligence theory, depth of knowledge, and technology, teachers can better engage students and inspire confident, capable learners, which really is the whole point of education.